Test, test, test. Hey, that's better. We're live. Sorry about that, guys. It's always something that goes wrong. Whenever Windows updates, OBS decides to take all my microphones and just throw them out the window. And then I have to relink them. So welcome in, folks. Welcome to the stream. I'm Sam Spade. Welcome to Sam Spade Tech. So today, guys, I got my hands on an old Chromebook, right? So this thing, I paid literally $14.99 for this thing. $14, that's right, $14.99. Now, it's one of the older models. I'm not exactly sure what year this one was made, but if we look here, give me one second. So this is the model. Mine's a little more beat up than this. This is it, brand new. And I always liked the form factor of the Chromebooks, right? Because they're very small, very portable. It's got a headphone jack. The battery lasts, I think, up to like 8 or 9 hours, depending on what you're running. However, it's running Chrome OS. But some people smarter than me figured out, well, it's a laptop. Why can't I just install whatever OS I want on it? And they found out that you can. However, I think the stock Windows 10 takes up about 40 to 50 gigabytes of space. But this is why, and people always ask me, like, why do you use third-party like Windows distros? It's because they strip out all the telemetry, the bloatware, the apps that nobody uses. And the guy that runs X-Lite, he's done some crazy builds of Windows 10 and 11. However, I tried Windows 10 Atomic X-Lite. That one was a little buggy, but it only took up 1.8 gigabytes of space on the hard drive. And that's the main issue with these Chromebooks, is that it's got 4 gigs of RAM, which is great, but it's only got 16 gigabytes of storage space. Not great. It does have an SD card slot on the side, actually on this side. So it's got an SD card slot here. This is for the power adapter. And this looks like it's for a SIM card. Mine doesn't have that model. My model doesn't have that. But on this side, you've got USB 2 right here. And then this is a super speed USB 3.0 port. So if you've got an external hard drive, like I've got over here, and I'll show you guys that during this process. If you've got an external NVMe, you can plug that right in here and maximize your storage. So I've got a 1 terabyte NVMe, and that will expand the storage up to 1 terabyte. A little bit less than that because I've got some stuff on there. And then it also has an HDMI out port. So we can check the specs here. Yeah, so right now it is running Chrome OS. It's got a Celeron processor, 2.16 gigahertz. And this is the big problem. So, you know, these aren't really powerful machines, but the form factor is amazing. Look, like, it's very portable, very small, lightweight. And so I had a client that I sold a laptop to. It was one of those older ones that I worked on a couple weeks ago. Sold that one to him for like $45 because it's older, had a platter disc. But he's like, it's too big, it's too heavy. And so I was like, I had heard that you could install Windows on these Chromebooks. So I thought, what the heck? Let's pick one up and see what we can do with it. However, so 4 gigs is not bad of RAM. It's DDR3, I believe. And then 16 gigs of eMMC. And what does that mean? Basically, it's like a solid state hard drive, but it's it's soldered directly to the motherboard. So unfortunately, we're kind of limited in that regard. But like I said, it's got that USB 3.0 port, and you can upgrade the storage through that to whatever you need. So like I said, it's not a bad form factor. It's got Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, standard keyboard. Let's see, and it's only 2.72 pounds. And the battery, it says here, if you've got 4 gigs of memory, which we do, it'll last up to 8 hours and 30 minutes. Now that's with Chrome OS, so our mileage is going to vary when we install Windows on it. So like I said, here's the full specs on it. Microphone, it's got a microphone, a built-in webcam. The touchpad is actually really nice. Like, I like the touchpad on it. Keyboard's really nice. Optical drive, or excuse me, no optical drive. Yes, it is DDR3 SD RAM. And so the RAM and the hard drive or SSD is soldered directly to the board. So that's going to speed things up a little bit, but we're limited in that regard as far as upgradability. But let me showcase it. So that's kind of the specs. So like I said, people who are a lot smarter than me have already figured out how to do this. So if you come over here to move this over, if we come over here to coolstar.org, and you know what? I should be recording this. See, this is where I get messed up, guys. So take it from the top, shall we? So I managed to get my hands on a Chromebook G4, right? It's a 11-inch Chromebook G4. And this is it here. So mine's not as nice as this. It's got an SD card, small keyboard, trackpad, but I love the form factor. It's got a webcam, microphone, built-in microphone. The only drawback is it's running Chrome OS, right? But people who are a lot smarter than me figured out that you can install Windows on these machines. So that's what we're going to do today. And now these were cheap, and a lot of the schools jumped on them because they were cheap. And the reason that they were so cheap is because they didn't install Windows on them. So in order to license Windows on one laptop, I think it increases the price like $200. And when these came out, they were like $200, $300. So if it had Windows on it, it probably would have been closer to $400 or $500, and nobody's going to buy that. And I'm sure, you know, when you buy them in bulk, they're going to be a lot cheaper. So it's not a bad looking laptop, but again, it's running Chrome OS. Now, we are limited in that it's got a decent processor, Intel Celeron, running Chrome OS. It's only got 4 gigs of RAM and 16 gigs eMMC. What does eMMC mean? And same story with the RAM. Basically, it means it's soldered to the board. So it's soldered to the motherboard. Everything is not easily upgradable. I'm sure if you had really good soldering skills, you would be able to take out the 16 gigs and upgrade that. But it does have, where is it? Right here. It does have one high-speed USB-C or USB 3.0 port. So if you have an external NVMe like I do, you can just plug that in, and hopefully once we get Windows installed on there and unlock the write protection, I'll be able to boot into the external drive, and I can boot into some of the OSs that I have on my external drive. So it's not a bad little form factor. And like I said, the battery in this thing with 4 gigs will last up to 8.5 hours. Now that's running that's running Chrome OS. So once we install Windows on there, our mileage may vary, but still, for the form factor and portability of it, it's actually a really nice little laptop. So I think it's going to be perfect for Cooper. Like I said, I did have a client that was looking for a small form factor. Unfortunately, I don't think this one's going to work for him because it's only got that 16 gigs of storage. I told him, you know, again, if you have a thumb drive, like a 512 gig thumb drive, you could plug that into the USB-C or USB 3.0 port and have a perfect storage solution right there. And you should be able to boot from that as well. But we're going to find out. So again, people who are a lot smarter than me figured out how to do this. So one of the people here, if you go over to coolstar.org, it will walk you through how to do this. And you can look at, so by default, it's going to show you the main, you know, big players that make Chromebooks. But if you tick here, like, look at all the different companies that jumped on the Chromebook bandwagon. We got the device compatibility. Bye-bye, bitch. And you're banned. Okay, so we got the device compatibility chart. If we open that, there we go. So look at all of the compatibility lists that we got on here. Now, I already did some research as far as what my model is. So, and you can see here, the compatibility is really good for all of these. So some of these say yes, paid. I don't know. Oh, that's audio. Huh. Paid? That's crazy. USB 4, which is crazy. Okay. I already did some research on this, and mine is actually called the KIP. So the best way to do this is to look it up on the Chromebook itself, and I'll show you guys that here once we get to it. But go to KIP. Okay. Right here. So, and this is the correct, mine's an HP Chromebook 11 inch, G3, G4. Mine's a G4, I believe. And then if you click the motherboard right here, it'll show you. And so the compatibility for that is yes across the board, except doesn't have USB 4 and it does not have a touchscreen. So we can click that and then just come over here and type in your motherboard, right? And then boom, it comes over here. So when you type in the motherboard selection, it brings you to the actual page. Now it says, excuse me, it says only Windows 10 is supported and no support for Windows 11. And I believe that is because Windows 11 is so much larger than Windows 10. And I don't think anybody has tested a small version, like a tiny 11. Tiny 11 would probably work on this because the drivers for 11 and 10 are pretty cross-compatible. But, and then you click here, this drops down, and it shows you turn off your device, open the back, remove the right protection screw. So we're going to get into that. Press escape, refresh, and power. Press Control D to enter developer mode. Press Control D to boot into Chrome OS. Open a tab, press Control Alt T. da 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 da, and then paste all this in here. Select full UEFI. So we'll get to that in a few minutes. Now, yes. So we're also going to need the firmware. So does not need to be done if you flash the firmware from Chrome OS or Linux. Okay. If you just, okay. But to update it from inside Windows, you can use this tool. So we're going to need to download some things here so that we'll have them ready. Install Windows to the USB. So basically just saying, get your installer ready. Yes, C++ and redistributable. So I recommend downloading the stuff directly off of here, so that way you have it ready to go. So we're going to do that. The EC driver, and then installing them in order, because it says here, run the installer, but several drivers listed below need these to work properly. So let's just check. Okay, so we got the C+ redistributable, we got that, cross-sec. Okay. Keyboard remappings. Okay, so just make a note of this. I'm gonna take a screenshot of this because it looks like they remapped some of the keys in the firmware. So I'm just gonna save this as well. Key remaps. And I do have a program that also remaps the keyboard stuff if needed. Yep, we'll put it in here. Okay. It's a great little utility called Sharp Keys. Did that not download? What's going on here? Be cautious, not cautious, but like just a little FYI or information. This Coolstar website is great. It's got all the stuff you need, but it's pretty slow, and like it wasn't responding very well to me. Like when you go to just the main page, like it times out for whatever reason. I don't know why. So I think there's something up with this server. Now this one does say Bay Trail chipset for Lenovo, but that's the chipset that we need. Touchpad driver, we're gonna need that one. Maxim audio driver, we're gonna need that one. Okay. And then compress the installation. So once everything is compressed, or once everything is installed, we want to run this command here. So I'm going to take a screenshot of that too. Key remappings, and then compress. All right. So, and again, guys, I've never done this before. This is the first time I've done this. I've done other stuff like this. But again, we're going to have this up on my main computer, so that way I know where we're at. So we're going to leave this up for now. And then come over here. So this is it, guys. It's a little bit backwards. There we go. So like I said, these were pretty popular a few years back because all of the schools would have them. This one hails from White River School District. Not sure where that is, but like I said, I picked this up for $14.99 at a thrift store. So a lot of these, you know, when they get the new ones, they'll just dump the old ones at wherever, thrift stores. But the form factor is great. I mean, like, look at this. It's a cute little laptop, perfect for my son to learn on. And that's why, you know, they're cheap. I'm sure they sold them to him in bulk, right? I need to fix something on this one. Give me 1 second, guys. So copy this. I need to fix something on my vertical stream, so bear with me. Vertical, and we are... Hey, and we're back. Sorry about that, guys. So over on the vertical stream, I updated my camera. So I got another camera, right? This one here. It's a little bit smaller, easier to use than I was using my iPhone, right? So this one's wired directly into my computer, and that way I can update it and use it as needed. So kind of unfortunate that the screen isn't really whatever. Good enough, right? Good enough for, as we would say in the military, good enough for government work, right? All right. But yeah, I like this tripod too. So I've got a, like, it's like a Spade tripod. That's nice. Okay. So like I said, nice little form factor. It's going to be perfect for my son. I've been trying to find him like the perfect laptop. That other one I had was way too big. And like I said, I had a client, I offered this one to him, but I think he needs more storage, and he's not a computer guy. He just wants a small laptop, and it's got to have USB, and it's got to have Windows 10. So again, we don't need this. We don't need to sign in, it looks like, to do all this, but we're going to browse as a guest real quick because I want to show you guys where you can find out your motherboard. All right, so we're browsing as a guest, and it just opens in Chrome. It says final software update. Yeah, we're not going to need that. Oh, we're going to update you. But like I said, so it's a great form factor, but it's Chrome OS, and there really isn't anything to Chrome OS, right? So you got Chrome, you got files, you got settings, camera, and then explore. And that's it. That's all that's on this thing. So we're going to get rid of this, and we're going to install Windows 11, or Windows 10 rather. But it does have Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and some decent settings. Yeah, so look at this. 100% battery's 100%. It's got almost 9 hours of battery. It says 9 hours that it'll run. So again, I think once we install Windows on here, our mileage is going to vary significantly. Probably only get like 4, maybe 5 hours, I'm guessing. So let's go to settings. Now, if you want to find your motherboard model, go into settings and then go to About Chrome OS and then come down here to Diagnostics. And it should say your motherboard version right here at the top. So I don't know if you guys can see it. You cannot see it. But I will put it in. I have yeah, so right there. That's your that should be your motherboard version right here. So KIP version 93 that's your motherboard. So when you go to the Coolstar website, you can look up your particular motherboard. And then it's also got your if you can't look it up by that and you're trying to find drivers for your machine, right here it also shows you, it also shows you the processor. So just make a note of all this stuff, like your processor, processor name, and then motherboard name as well. So we're gonna set this back here. No problem, no problem. Slight problems. Okay. Sorry, I gotta turn this. There we go. That's a little bit better. Hey, thanks for stopping into the stream, guys. Like I said, I'm just working on the video, so if I miss your chats, I apologize. I'm really just recording a video right now. So this is the Chromebook G4 running Chrome OS currently. Picked this up for $14.99, and we're going to install a X-Lite version of Windows 10 on it. So it's a nice little machine. It really is. So like I said, fire it up. You can browse as a guest. Just find out what your motherboard model is, and then the processor. Make a note of that. You're going to need that. Close those both out, and then go ahead and shut her down, because now we got to tear into it. Actually, come over here and then just shut down. Shut down. Shuts down pretty quickly. And that's it. So now comes the fun part. Make sure all the lights are off. Now we got to unscrew this puppy. I got to figure out how to do this. Pull the tools out. I don't know. See if I can. Yeah, that works. Does that work? That kind of works. All right. So we got some tools here. So you can see one screw that is already exposed. Take that one out. Set it aside. Now, I don't know where the rest of the screws are. I'm assuming right here behind rubber things. So let's see what I can find to take the rubber deals out. Need a smaller screwdriver. Yep, they are under there. So it's got some like glue. Probably just like double stick tape, but so this will probably just fall out now. Yeah, so those are kind of worthless. So I don't know that anybody's been in here, because these are still intact. And they're glued. The glue doesn't seem to be... I'm probably just going to throw these away, because... Yeah, maybe someone was in here. I don't know. Kind of looked like the screw was removed. We will find out. But I'm probably just going to leave them out, because I don't really care. They're just screw holes, right? And I don't know if there's any underneath these, but I can watch a video and see real quick, which I might do. And again, this is just, I'm doing this for a video on my website. That'll be out soon, so. But you guys are along for the ride. There might be some screws under here. I'm just gonna pull it out. Let's see. Yeah, there is. There is. Okay. We'll leave those out too. All right, so we got the screws exposed. Now, just unscrew them. And I don't like HP's method as far as how these things are built. I mean, on one regard, I do. On another regard, I don't. I really don't. But I'm just going to set them out near where they're from. Ooh, that one's in there. So, not all of the machines have a screw to right protect them. This one does, but some of the other machines will have like a jumper, or it just depends on your motherboard model. So you got to look on, just look up that information. Look online to find out exactly what yours is. So you take the screws out of the bottom, and then you have to flip it over and pry out the keyboard. So it doesn't actually, so the bottom doesn't come off. Now that we have all the screws out, I hope there's not screws under here. I don't think there are, because that looks like about it. So now that those are out, you open it up, and we have to pry. Oh, what the hell? I shut this thing down. Well, that's good to know. Yeah, shut down. Hey! Gabby Maru! Welcome in, buddy. How you doing? I miss you, bud. Haven't seen you in a while. Thanks for stopping in. Always love seeing you, bud. But, oh, you're busy? Well, busy's good, right? Busy is good. Let me adjust the camera. Sorry, guys. Oh. So I got another webcam, which is kind of nice. There we go. So got another webcam. All right, so once we unscrewed everything, we flip it over, and now we got to pry this thing out without breaking anything. Hopefully. Hopefully. So I suggest, if you've got one of these, mine's all chewed up, but just like a plastic piece, or like a guitar pick, if you've got a guitar pick laying around. Something plastic, not metal, because you don't want to damage the motherboard underneath here. But I don't believe anybody's been in here. But we're gonna find out. So it's literally just like plastic clips, right? You just go around the edge and pop them up. And again, I've never done this before, so let's hope I don't break anything. But I've messed around with enough computers to kind of know what to do. Kind of. Just got to be real slow and careful, you know. Don't want to damage anything. Don't want to damage anything too badly. But again, I only paid 15 bucks for this, so won't. Now the back side seems to be like stuck in there. Hang on, guys. I'm having a little bit of a time. There we go. There we go. Oh, I stuck the front back in. There we go. Oh. That looks important. All right, so now you got to be real careful too, because once you disconnect this, there are some ribbon cables in here. And I'll show you guys those in a second. There we go. Okay, so now that we're detached, right? We got the whole keyboard assembly up, right? You can just pull it back like this. Okay, because there's ribbon cables that are attached. And we don't want to mess with those. I mean, we can. You can disconnect them if you want, but really, you don't have to, because you can just kind of tip it back like that. Hang on. Let me show you guys what we're working with here. So there's a ribbon cable here for the keyboard, and there's also one like underneath here for the trackpad. But we only need to get to the right protection screw, which is right here. So it's everything else is covered in plastic except for this. So that's your right protection screw. And all we have to do is pull that out and it will disable right protection so we can install Windows on it. But you can kind of get an idea. Or actually, I think that's for the trackpad right there. So you got these ribbon cables. They're still attached. Like I said, all you have to do is just kind of go like this and then pull it back like so to expose that right protection screw. We're going to take that out, but I just want to show you underneath here. So that's why you don't want to just yank it out, because you got two cables right there. But like I said, we don't have to take them out. We don't have to take the whole thing out. You can just pull it back like this. And then we're going to take that screw out. And then you can put it back in once we install Windows. But just pull it out. That's it. And then we put it back on. And then we'll just kind of clip the front here for now. And leave it like that, because we're going to want to make sure everything's good before we continue. What the hell? Sorry, I unlocked the wrong one. Yeah, not sure what that is. It looks like one of the clip things broke, so I might want to check that. Give me 1 second, guys. Oh.
Hi, you want to take down the Christmas decorations, watch Harry Potter, and maybe make some brownies?
Really? Oh my god, yes, let's do it, babe.
Right? Amanda!
Silly. Okay, so we got the right protection screw out, right? That was all that was step one, according to Mr. Cool Star over here. And I can bring that up. So we're over here. You can see that we're on step one. Let me change my screen. So we're still on step one. Turn off your device and remove the right protection screw. And now we can apparently just press escape, refresh, and power. So let's go back to this one. Okay, I'm gonna turn that off. Turn that off. Okay, so let me back this up a little bit. Just there we go. Okay, so we're still kind of piecemealed. So we got escape, refresh, and power. So we're gonna hit escape, refresh, and power. Boom. That's what we want to see. So it says, you see this? You cannot see it. Anyway, let me see. Why is it not showing up? Let's drop it down. There we go. Okay. Much better. All right. There we go. So it says Chrome OS is missing or damaged. Please insert a recovery. Da, 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 da. And to that I say no. Press Control D to go into developer mode. And it says turn OS verification off. Press Enter. Your system will reboot and local data will be cleared. So press Enter. Now that didn't say it over here. Oh yeah, so it said press Enter. Okay, OS verification is off. So that's what we want to see. So we press spacebar to re-enable, but we don't want to do that. And now it says press Control D again to boot to Chrome OS. Okay, it's just giving me a warning and then it says starting in 30 seconds. Void the warranty. Oh. Yeah, it's just saying, hey buddy. Hey pal, you're voiding your warranty. You don't say. We're preparing for developer mode. Hang on, guys. I'm gonna recenter this. There we go. Ugh. Why isn't it focusing? Preparing developer mode. What do you think? Any bets that this is going to work? I mean, so far so good, right? We're in developer mode. So yeah, I've been going ham at these thrift stores, just buying all kinds of laptops, and I got a couple webcams. This one's a 1080p webcam. I got it, and another webcam for like 20 bucks. This friggin' Chromebook was $14.99. I got a bunch of other laptops I got to work on. They're older, and you're gonna start seeing this, like a lot of these older laptops at thrift stores, because what do you call it? Because of Windows 10 being end of life, right? So you can make yourself a little coin by installing Windows 11 on unsupported systems and then selling them. Because there's nothing wrong with these laptops. Just according to Windows, you know, they say that they're not going to support it any longer. So there's that. But anyway, we're gonna do what we do and install Windows 10 on this, because that's why. Yeah, it looks like it's got a countdown here, so I'll probably just fast forward through this. You ain't gonna see me. It's just... We're preparing for developer mode. I like having this little webcam because before I had my iPhone out and it would just get in my way and I couldn't see around it. So this is much nicer because it's just a tiny little webcam, and it has a light on it, like built in, so I can just... So if I need extra light, turn it on, we're good. We gonna see though. We're gonna see if this is gonna work. It should. All the videos I watched said, you know, it's not that big of a deal. It's not that big of a deal. It's really not. Da, da, da. Da, da, da. Yeah, the biggest issue, right, is getting the terminal up and then pasting in this code, and then it should be good to go. Okay. Press Control D again, I guess, to go into developer mode. Or boot in. There we go. So it had to do that whole rigmarole, and then now it's booting into Chromebooks. So now we are at step 4. Moving on to step 5. Okay. Go get started. Okay. connect to Wi-Fi. We don't need to improve. Determining device configuration. Come on, focus. Would you please focus? All right. You know what I need to do? Go like this. And we're gonna go like this. That's better. I think it's because the camera was like tilted versus the tripod being tilted. Who is using this device? You or a child? Now, it says open a tab, so let's see if I can do it right now. Control-Alt-T. No. Enterprise enrollment. Interesting. I'm gonna try it as a guess. Maybe not. You know what? I'm just gonna sign in. But I don't want to sign in with my main account. That's the issue. So I may have to type in. Because I don't know. Let's see if we can do it as a guest. I'm in developer mode, so I don't see why not. All right. So Control-Alt-T. There we go. So now we're on Crosh. Now this says hit shell. There we go. Chronos localhost. And now we're gonna go this, and we want to go to CoolStar again. So we want to go to CoolStar. Gonna go to Chromebooks. Scroll down, and we're installing this. We want to install. And then again here, search by code name, KIP. Right. Boom. All right, so we're back here. What we want is right here. So copy this, Control copy, go back here, Control paste. Why doesn't that work? Are you serious right now? What the hell? Can I not just copy paste? It says copy, or it says paste. There's no like right click, I don't think. There we go. Copy. There we go. So somehow copy and paste that command into here. And there it goes. Warning. Your device currently has software write protection enabled. Press Y to disable software write protection and reboot. So I do want that, but it says capital Y, so we'll go yes. Disabling software. Ding, ding. And now we got to do that all over again because it's going to reboot. So Control D, get back in here. Okay, just browse, go down here, browse as a guest again. Okay, so to bring up the terminal, press Control Alt T. Okay, type in shell again. And I don't know if I can paste. Okay. Yeah, not sure how I did that. So anyway, go back to Coolstar. Yeah, see, all the videos I watched didn't say anything like, oh, it's going to reboot, da 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 da, it's going to do this, it's going to do this. Like, there's a process that you got to do. So come here, we are KIP. Boom. Back to developer and flash mode. We want this. Also, sometimes it's hard to right click on here. If you hold Alt and then click, it'll give you that right click options. So there you go. And then apparently Alt clicking in here will paste it. So now turn this back on. There we go. Starting up, downloading the support files, doing what it needs to do. Now write protection should be off. There we go. So this is what we wanted to see. All right. So it tells you our device, KIP, Intel Bay Trail, stock Chrome OS, Google KIP, da 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 da, write protection disabled. So what we want is number 2, install a UEFI full ROM firmware. That's what we want. So we're gonna hit 2, press enter, and it's saying, yo, homeboy, do you know what you're doing? Basically, yeah, it says you can potentially brick your device requiring inexpensive hardware and some technical blah, 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 blah. Man, that's just not focusing at all. Come on. There you go. You have been warned. It says flashing full ROM firmware will remove your ability to run Chrome OS. So, yep. Okay. It says Chrome OS will no longer be bootable. So press, yep. Highly recommended in case you wish to return your device to stock configuration / run Chrome OS. In the unlikely event that things go south, you need to recover using an external EEPROM programmer. Okay. Yes. Okay, so now it says connect a USB or SD device to store the firmware backup, and then press enter to continue. This is non-destructive, but it's best to ensure that there are no other USB SD devices connected. Okay, so grab a thumb drive if you've got one handy. I should have one handy. It's non-destructive, so that means you can just plug in any USB drive and it should just copy the file over to it. So I plugged it in. Press enter. So it's saying press enter. So enter. Device is available. Yes. Enter the number for the device for the firmware backup. So press 1 and enter. Saving firmware. There you go. So that was quick. Oh. So, whoa there, be careful. Blah, blah, blah. Whatever. Bye-bye. All right, so unplug. So basically, that just ran through the whole steps of backing up the current OS. That's in case anything goes south. It just did a backup of the firmware in case I want to go back to stock. Because doing this process, I will no longer be able to boot into Chrome OS after flashing this. So yeah, press enter. Ooh, it's downloading the firmware. May take up to 90 seconds. So after you back up to the thumb drive, the ROM, it's going to go ahead and install the flashed OS. Yeah. So much for the focus. Oh, what's it say? First boot after flashing may take substantially longer than subsequent boots, up to 30 seconds or more. Oh, man. Be patient. Your device will boot. Press enter to return to the main menu. Okay. Okay, so let's consult here. Select UEFI. I did that. Oh, okay. So now it's changed and it says restore stock Chrome OS firmware. So before it said UEFI. So that is a way to tell that we've successfully done it. And now we should be able to press R to reboot. This says clear UEFI NVRAM, set hardware ID. So we should be good. We should be good. We'll just hit R to reboot. And then we should see the custom firmware. It's going to take 30 seconds, it said. Ding, 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 ding. Like I said, there's only 16 gigs of RAM in this, or 16 gigs of storage, not RAM. I wish it had 16 gigs. So if you've got a portable NVMe USB 3, right? There it is. So that's what we want to see. That is some sort of Dutch hair or something. Okay. Now this is what it said. Internal eMMC, because it said you will no longer be able to boot from Chrome OS. Right? Verify it contains points. Press any key to continue. Okay, so now welcome to UEFI shell. If you want to appear by mistake, type exit to return to the UEFI options menu. Okay, let's type exit. There we go. So now this is basically the startup BIOS menu, which you can also get to by pressing escape when you start up. So the default boot is going to try and boot from the eEMC. but we can check out the boot menu. So it's got UEFI shell, and then it's got the internal eMMC, whatever. Exit that. Boot manager. Change boot order. Escape. Okay, so what we want to do now, it's got two different USB ports. Make sure you're in the high-speed one for this. We're going to see if Ventoy works on this. If it doesn't, if Ventoy doesn't work, then we may have to flash this to another USB, but we're going to see what happens. Let's go boot manager again. Change boot order. Okay, add a boot option. Ventoy? Okay, it sees it. Menu? There it is. Okay. So go to the boot menu. And then you should see that's the NVMe. It's a Realtek, whatever. So it's not going to show up as your device. Just make sure you know the device. And that's a good sign. There's my Ventoy. So this is a custom skin for my Ventoy. I really like it. Except it doesn't show the menu items, so F3 will get us into our folders. And I've got a folder for Windows. And F3 is the refresh now. So we got Ghost, we got Kernel, we got Windows 10 Lite. We also got, this is the one we want. So it's 3 gigs, X-Lite, Windows 10, 22H2, Pro, X64 Optimum ISO. So we're going to hit that one. Boot it normal. Oh, shit. I think I had to press a key right there. But we'll see what happens. Nothing else, it's going to just boot us back into the thing. Yeah, it looks like it might be going. Give it some time. So it looks like Ventoy did work, but I didn't press a key fast enough, so I may have to restart this. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's doing anything. Oh. Hey, it's working. There we go. So it just took a couple minutes. Setup is starting up. Now there is a few caveats with X-Lite. So it's going to take up like 4 or 5 gigs on the hard drive. And we only have 16, so not bad. And then we have those drivers, which I did not transfer over. So I'm going to have to transfer those over. But we can install X-Lite, let it install. I'll transfer those files from over here. All right, so we've got Optimum 10 Pro with Defender off or Defender on. I'm going to leave Defender off because I don't care about Defender. Oh, that's the other thing. So it looks like the keyboard works, which is great. The trackpad is not going to work during this process, so you're going to have to figure out. We'll have to figure out how to get in here. God, this is just not doing it for me. Come on, man. Do it for me, would you? Damn. Oh, come on. I need a camera that actually focuses. There we go. So we want Defender. No. No, it's not Windows. It's my camera. There we go. Okay. So, what's up, The Blur? How you doing, bud? Yeah, like I said, there's a few caveats with this one. It's Windows X-Lite 10, and it'll install fine, but then when it goes to reboot, it tends to just get hung up, so you have to like force it to exit. But we're gonna turn Defender off, and then if you notice down here, God, fucking camera, dude, the camera's trash. What do you mean the speed? I'm not sure what you mean. Yeah. Yeah, you might be right. I should probably just switch it to manual focus. I think you're right. Hang on. I mean, it's a decent little machine, right? And it's a Chromebook. I paid $14 for it, so I'm happy with that. All right. So you might be right on with... No, I mean, it's not slow. I haven't noticed it slow, per se. All right, so once we get to this section, we have to delete all of these. Let me try and adjust that camera. Give me 1 second. Yeah, it's not working much better here. Let's see if I can get it focused somewhat. And then, nope. And then turn it off. It's like the brightness just isn't doing it either. Can I turn the brightness? Ah, cancel. See for cancel. Shit. How do I go back? No. How do I go back? God damn it. Yeah, it is moving. This is just another webcam that I got. It's a 1080p webcam. How the fuck do I go back without the mouse? Ugh. Yeah. Shit. It's all good. Let's try it again, shall we? Yeah, the camera doesn't seem to be the greatest, but, you know, it's working. So let's go to boot menu again. All right, we're gonna try this again. So I got my Ventoy. Ventoy does work on this. Hit F3. to get your folder menu up. That's Windows 10 Lite. There we go. X-Lite, Windows 10. Okay. So that was my bad. I don't know what the fuck happened. Yeah, I think it's more in BIOS. What do you mean? Oh yeah, the camera works in BIOS, but I think it's more a fact when it gets to like a white background. It kind of blurs out. But this is just a cheap 1080p webcam. And again, once we get to Windows, I'll install the trackpad drivers and everything like that, and we should be good to go. Yeah, don't worry about it. I'm used to getting the OS, like screwing it up and then having to start over. But this is X-Lite. Yeah, auto balance exposure. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, I can adjust the exposure, I think, too. That's a good point. All right, so setup starting up. But yeah, Windows X-Lite, this will only take up like 5 to 6 gigs on the drive, and we only got 16 to work with. Okay, so I'm not going to touch anything. Let me configure again, and you are correct, sir. Turn the brightness and exposure. A little bit. So if I turn the exposure down a bit, does that look okay? It's still, the focus is fucked up. Ah, crap. Where's my video configurator? There it is. All right. Can I adjust this too? Turn the brightness a little bit and then focus. It's a little bit better. Whatever. We'll go with this for now. And then I'll adjust it again. But I'm going to leave Defender off. So again, when we're at this point, the trackpad's not going to work. So you're going to have to use the keyboard because the keyboard still works. But if you notice on the buttons here, when it's underlined, you can press that button to advance, or you can press enter right here. Select Defender off, hit enter. Nope, I guess you have to press N. Okay, there it goes. Okay, so now it's selecting the drives, but what we need to do is delete all of these partitions. Yes, an external mouse would work if I had one. I have a wireless one, but again, I don't know that that's going to work either. So this is just, I mean, it's not the easiest way to do it, but it'll be all right. So just hit D to delete. And that does not seem to be working. I'm hitting D, and it's not working. Well, that's going to be a problem. Yeah, because it's underlined, it says D, and I'm hitting D, and it just goes to the next one. wonder if I go to the bottom one, just hit D. Ooh, not that one. Okay, that's your external. So let me hit D here. That's unallocated. I can't delete that. D. No. All right. Yeah, so I guess I'm gonna have to plug in a wireless mouse. I don't have a wired mouse. Tab. Hang on. Let me go back to the top. Ah, thank you. Thank you. So press tab, then D. This partition may yada yada yada. Bye-bye. Tab. Okay. It is it is a little bit slow. Okay, so yeah, you have to hit tab, then D. And we got to be very careful that we just don't accidentally delete our external. But golly, I wish my fucking camera looked better than this. This looks like ass. It's a little bit better. Come on, focus, mother. There we go. We are diffusing a bomb called Chrome OS. All right, so you gotta use the arrows, tab down. There is another way we could do it, but this is just the easiest way. So it's going to refresh after each time. And Chrome OS, for whatever reason, puts all these stupid partitions in here. And like a couple of these are 0. Like it has 0 space on it. Cool. Like, what? Yes. Yes, we want to be very, very careful. So see how they all say drive 0? We're only focused on drive 0. Drive 1 is my NVMe. If I delete it, not a huge deal because it's just my like recovery stuff and OS's. But not a good idea. So hit tab and then D to delete. Go OK. Let it refresh. So it's time consuming, but we're going to be okay. And obviously, as you can see, the unallocated space is going to climb up. Yeah, Google, they're not great. They're not great. So again, go to the next one, tab, D. Yep. Tab, D. Okay. And we only want drive 0. This is the old EFI system. Tab, D, delete, bye-bye. So we just want to delete all these. I could open up a friggin' terminal and do it that way, but we're here. We're doing it, so. So our stuff is climbing. Tab, we're almost there. D, okay. Let it refresh. There we go. Now here's the big one. And so we got unallocated on the back end and unallocated on the front end. So if we delete this one, it will all turn into unallocated space, should. And then bang. So we only have 14.7 gigabytes to work with. So that's why I went with X-Lite. It's going to be fine, I hope. So again, press tab and then N for next. Select your unallocated space. And it's thinking about it. There it goes. So now it's going to copy the files and install. And then when it reboots, we'll continue the installation. It'll be fine. Like I said, I've got an external NVMe drive, and this Chromebook has a high-speed USB drive or USB port. So we're going to be just fine. X-Tenticon. Yeah. Yes, it's going from the NVMe right now to the MMC, and you saw how fast it copied. So, yeah, X-Tenticon. Yeah, I can install Windows 11 on a potato. I could install Windows 11 on this one, but you just need a lightweight distro. So I went with Windows 10 X-Lite because it was there actually is a lighter version of X-Lite, but it's a little buggy. My girlfriend's here. Hi, girlfriend. Hi, girlfriend. Say hi to The Blur and Mr. Triple X Tenticon. Is that how I say that? Tenticon or Tentascion? Something. But yeah, Tenticon, I'd be more than happy to help you. I've installed Windows 11 on a potato. I've installed Windows 11 on a MacBook from 2012. So whatever restrictions Microsoft claims to have, they're lying. They're lying. There's ways around it, and it's pretty easy to do. But some distros are better than others. If you want to keep Windows 10, they do have LTSC, which I do have a version of that. I got a couple versions of that. I've got, right now, Ghost Spectre is probably the best one. Hello, girlfriend. Yes, this is a Windows 10 potato install. Yeah, I would a Tenticon. I would not use the stock Windows 11 on if it's an older laptop, because they're probably gonna stop you at every turn. Like I said, I'm installing 10 on this Chromebook. It says 11's not supported, but we could do that in another video. To see. And actually, I think I am going to just leave that write protection screw out, just because if I want to install 11 on this, then I got to tear the whole thing back open. Oh, nice. Yeah, that's another challenge I want to do. Yeah, I don't know why Kick is glitching so bad. Kick sucks, man. Are you on the app on your phone? Oh, really? LTSC didn't run the games properly. No, I do believe that. Yeah. Windows just keeps fucking up, man. Like, but, oh, that's what I was going to say, Blur. That's another challenge I want to do is like, try and run Linux for 30 days and see if I could do it on my main machine, right? So it's not going to be anytime soon, but I'm trying to pick the right distro. I'm leaning towards Cashy OS, but you're running Linux on everything. What is your favorite distro on Linux? I'm leaning toward Cashy. Yeah, Yeah, it is sloppy. It's sloppy over here. And I may end up installing Linux on this too. There's quite a few lightweight Linux that I tried that are really good. They're really, really good. Antics is a good one. Puppy Linux was another good one. But I gotta double check, but Puppy Linux runs in the RAM, which is not great. Because this only has 4 gigs of RAM. So I'd rather run it off the hard drive. And there's probably an option to install it to the hard drive, or the eMMC, whatever the hell it's called. So, and I apologize about the shoddy camera work. It is what it is. Okay. Yeah, and that's another lightweight one, isn't it? Ubuntu. I've heard of that one. I haven't messed with it. But I'm leaning towards CachyOS. I do like the Arch Linux environment. It seems to be pretty nice, stable, solid, fast. I tried Zorin OS. Zorin's actually pretty good too. If you're coming from a Windows environment, Windows or Mac. Nice. Yeah, MacBook Air. MacBook Airs are pretty nice, I gotta say. Okay, so now this is also the issue with X-Lite. When it goes to reboot, most times it just shits the bed. It doesn't reboot. But look at us. Look at us rebooting. Yeah, I'm not sure what Steam runs on, but I'm telling you, Linux is going to grow massively in the next couple of years in popularity just because Microsoft keeps fucking up. They just keep fucking up. They've got the opposite of the Midas touch right now, where literally everything they touch turns to shit. Boot boot. This is some sort of Norwegian hare, I believe. Oh, SteamOS is Arch? Okay. Yeah. And like I said, they're going to gain in popularity because Microsoft keeps fucking up and people are tired of it. People are sick of it. They're just like, why am I not getting paid for you to rifle my data? Right? Like, they're selling my data. They're spying on everybody. They're advertising to everybody. They're forcing it down our throats and making you pay for it. Like, oh, well, if you want this OS, you got to pay for it. And since you're paying for it, we're going to go ahead and advertise it to you. We're going to advertise whatever we want to you. It's like, huh? Yeah, they really do. I think it's a great idea. I do. And that partially is why I think Linux is going to gain more popularity as well, because it's giving the players what they want, right? Open source and freedom. So it's not just a game system, it's a computer. You can do whatever you want with it, right? I like it. I think it's going to be awesome. I don't know if I'll pick one up because I already have a gaming machine, but like, I think it's going to do great things for the Linux ecosystem as well, because more and more people will have the SteamOS, which means more and more people are going to start supporting it. Game developers are going to start supporting it more and more, and probably start making their games compatible for Linux first and then Windows, because Windows just keeps fucking up. But are you going to get one? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I was watching Osmogold and he's like, huh, giving the consumer what they want. That's a wild business plan. But you know what? It fucking works. Like, this is what the people want, right? They don't want some private bullshit corporation owning all of our data. You have you have so many computers. I kind of have a problem too because I just bought this Chrome OS, even though I just bought 3 other laptops from a thrift store to redo. But I'm rehashing them and then I'm gonna resell them, right? So this one I might keep. This little Chrome machine. It's nice. Oh wow, nice. Yeah, in that regards, I think the Steam machine is going to be a great machine to have out in the living room or the family room, you know, because it's a small footprint and it's a computer and you can watch all your media on it and do whatever you want with it. So, like I was saying, this is, I think, the issue with X-Lite. I think after like the first boot, it just sits here and does this. So I'm gonna go ahead and power it off. So I don't know why it does that. It seems like it's just the first reboot. So then you turn it back on. We got the hair. That's what we want to see. Yeah, see, and now that looks different. I don't know why it does it. So first reboot of X-Lite, just kill it. Yeah. There we go. I don't know why. And Atomic was like that too, where after the first reboot, it just like gets stuck and boom, we're up. Let me adjust my hello. Ta-da! He's beautiful. And there we are. We're into Windows 10-ish. So now we need a mouse and some drivers. Yeah, so that didn't take long. I mean, you know, yeah, I was taking my sweet ass time, but I've only been streaming for an hour and a half. So this maybe took like an hour start to finish. Maybe. That's a good question. It's only got it's got 4 gigs of DDR3 and 16 gigs of storage. It does have a USB 2.0 and 1 USB 3.0. So, like I said, I've got a portable NVMe, right? 1 terabyte. I could just slap that puppy on the back, 3.0 style, and we should be good to go. However, okay, I'm having a brain fart. Oh, I need my other mouse. Give me a second. All right. So let's hope this one works. We're on Windows. So hopefully it works. Hey, look at that. It works. So I got a little wireless Logitech-y. Clicked it in. We're good. But we can hit the task manager, show you what we're working with. So little peek on the CPU. We got an Intel Celeron CPU N2840 at 2 gigahertz. And so X-Lite out of the box, only 38 processes and 500 and some odd threads. Not terrible. You can't even see that. Ha ha ha. Again with the exposure. I'm being exposed. There we go. Let me bump it up a little bit. There we go. So not bad. And then with the memory, check this out. Only 736 running Windows 10. And we got 3.2 available. So we're not bad. The SSD, not great, right? Because we only got 16 gigs on this thing. We can look here. Yes, it really should be Windows default. So again, that's why I like some of these distros that you find online. Let's go back here. Yeah, so wow, we're at 9 gigs. That's crazy. Because I installed this on a virtual machine and it was like 6 gigs. That's interesting. That is interesting. Okay. Yeah, some nerd on the distro made this. Or some nerd on the distro. Some nerd on the net made this distro. Yeah, so not great, but I'm gonna have to install some drivers. Bureaucratic red tape. That's how. So I'm gonna install those drivers that I downloaded, but I gotta download them over here. So we're back here. We're back here now. Hi guys. So we did all this. Okay, I got the link to update the firmware, I believe. Did I download that? I don't know if I downloaded that. I'm gonna download it. Yeah, it is absurd, but I think it's mostly, like I said, that bureaucratic red tape. Because you gotta get, okay. You gotta get, you know, approval to do anything, and it's a mess. It really is. So, hang on here, guys. I swear I know what I'm doing. All right, I'll be right back. I just gotta plug this in up front. Because all my ports in the back are stuck. So I got that NVMe plugged into here. I got two Mises. Okay, so files. Okay, so let's just, we'll make a new. This is where I always get confused, right? Because I'm like over here hitting the keyboard on my Chromebook like it's my other computer. 2 mouses and 2 keyboards will do that to you. Just fucks you up. You're like, wait, why is it not working? All right, so we need all of these. Key remaps and this. And I need a new folder here. Just call this Chromebook. Chromebook. Click it in there, and then drag these over to here. And that should be it. So that was easy. And we're still on, okay, what step are we on here? We gotta do C++ first. So we installed Windows, we're good. Now we gotta install C++. Give me 1 second. Boing, boing. Boing, boing. I swear I know what I'm doing. Some days. Some days are better than others, you know what I mean? Okay, got the NVMe plugged in. And now let's switch our camera. I'm back over yonder. And I apologize about the exposure, guys. This camera is just not doing it for me. But we're here. We're doing it. We're gonna make the best of it, right? All right. So now we got Ventoy over. Yeah. We're gonna open the folder. Yeah. That's not the one I wanted. I wanted this files Chromebook. All right, so this said Visual C++ first. I agree. What will? The boy and the girlfriend. But the boy is sleeping. The boy is asleep. Yeah, okay, that was successful. All right, so now install the Chrome EC driver. Yeah. Yeah, I know. And power users are all on stock OS, usually. I mean, I like messing around with these custom OSs because they're smaller, they're lightweight. Yeah, and like you said, Microsoft adding more bloat and telemetry and spying on us. Yeah, there is no going back. So now it's like, we're gonna have to switch to Linux. We're gonna have to. Yeah. Okay, so sorry guys, I need to find out which one this is. Okay, cross-sec. So now do cross-sec next. RGB keyboard profiles? I don't think I need that. I didn't know that. Okay, cross-sec is done. What's next? Keyboard remappings, I did that. Have that, okay. The chipset drivers, what's next? Chipset is the Bay Trail. Bay Trail, we'll do that one. Oh, wow. Yeah, I like Linux. I really do. It's growing on me quite a bit. That's why I'd like to do a challenge to where I work with Linux only for like a month or so and see how I fare. Yeah, let's do that. Oh, yeah. Need this. Yep, need this. All right, we'll see how much this takes up. Hopefully not too much because we don't have a lot of storage on here. Hi, honey. How are you?
We can talk probably. So, this lady, we went to Chick-fil-A for lunch, and this lady was like so cute. She looks like a grandma or something. And she's like, ice cream? Can I buy him some ice cream? Is he allowed to have ice cream? Or she like whispered it to me first so he didn't hear. I said, He's totally allowed to have ice cream. He
doesn't like it.
And she was like, what?
Yeah, I
And
know.
she thought I was trying to blow her off. I'm like,
I
no,
know.
no. It's like he doesn't like cold temperatures. Like he just,
Yeah.
she was looking at me all weird. I'm like,
No, you should have been like, if you really want to get his favor.
I thought about
Yeah.
it, because she
Ooh,
seemed
sorry, guys.
disappointed. Like, you know, like
But
she
yeah,
wanted to
then
do
just-
something cute for him.
Just
and
yeah, next time say buy him a cookie.
yeah.
Buy him a cookie instead.
Because everyone just thought he was the cutest thing because he was sitting there all nice and being a sweetie.
That's really cute. All right, so it's asking to restart. I'm gonna restart later. So after I install all this, I'm just gonna hit it with a restart. So we're gonna do that. Okay, now the touchpad driver. Yeah. I don't know, like I'm kind of the same way where like I only learn stuff when I need to. But like this, you know, like I've installed Windows on potatoes and I was like, oh, you can install it on a freaking Chromebook? That sounds like fun. So I wanted to try it. Install the touchpad drivers. And so like I'm learning, you know, as I go. And I enjoy learning. Okay, touchpad is the cross touch. Next. Sure. Based on Debian. Okay. Yeah, and I think that's where a lot of the confusion about Linux comes in, because not only do you have all these different distros, so people get so overwhelmed. They're like, I thought Linux was just like one thing, but it's not. Right. Right. So, and then on top of that, you've got a whole slew of different desktop environments, which I'm just learning about. So, like Arch, Debian, and you know, there's like a Cinnamon desktop environment. There's a what's the other one I'm thinking of? KDE Plasma is another one. But basically, yeah, it's basically like what the GUI looks like, right? How the GUI performs and functions. There's all sorts of different desktop environments. Right. Yeah. Yeah, Linux is a custom built OS just for you. Oh, sorry guys. I get confused here. Yeah, XFCE. Yeah, that's another desktop environment. So I think what we should do, you know, I say like I'm a part of it, but like Linux should, you know, come to a consensus of like, and they kind of are. I feel like Linux Mint is really becoming like the mom and pop kind of go-to Linux OS. Right? But I also like Zorin. Yeah. Yeah, you know, but if you, and that's all an OS should be, right? Like it just needs to be nice enough for you to get to what you need to do. Yeah. Well, no, yeah. And I don't mean like Linux consensus, but like something that we can all agree, like, hey, my mom and dad should, if they want to install Linux, we should all just push them to this OS. That way we're all kind of well versed in it and we can help them if we need to, if that makes sense. And I say it like I've got any sort of influence over how or what is going to happen. So anyway, this, I want both of those things. I would love both of those things. Okay, so we got cross-touching. Oh, now we need the maximum audio driver, which is Max. Okay. Install that. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that was quick. Okay. Oh, and now I'm going to hit it with a restart, and then we compress the installation. So let's just see what we're looking at right now. So I'm going to copy this to the desktop. I'm going to copy this to the desktop. I can close that. Oh, now we'll need to install a couple other little things once we start back up. But let's open it up. That's not bad. It actually went down. How did that happen? Didn't it say 9 gigs? Like a minute ago? That's weird. Now we're only at 8.34. Fucking Windows. That's weird, dude. It went down. It was at 9 10 minutes ago. Not even. Focus. Focus. Oh my god, this focus is killing me. I swear it was at 9 gigs not even 10 minutes ago. Okay, so that's what we're looking at. So we're only 8.5 with all the drivers installed. Does the touchpad, hey, look at that. Touchpad is working. Beautiful. So I don't need the mouse anymore, but I am going to use it. So like I said, I got my 1 terabyte NVMe as a Ventoy. I know. So I've got my 1 terabyte NVMe. I set it up as a Ventoy, but I may need to redo it because it's only got 2 partitions. I would like to install, or maybe I can shrink this partition. I'm not sure if I can just shrink it, and then have another partition to install a version of Linux on, so I can have a portable Linux on here as well. I might do that, but for right now, it's got all of my distros on it. So I've got a bunch of driver files from each of my computers. I've got files, so you can throw all your storage files in there. I've got some recovery ISOs, so you can boot into Hiren's. I've even got Hiren's XP, which actually I can't boot into because it's not GPT. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it was deleting. I got a bunch of Linux ones. I have not even tried half of these. But I got Linux Mint Cinnamon, Manjaro. I tried Manjaro. It was actually pretty good. It's another Arch. I downloaded Omarchy because there was like a bunch of hype on that. Haven't tried it yet. Haven't tried Pop OS, Porteous, Venari. I did try Zorin. I really like Zorin. Zorin is really nice. I have tried Linux Mint. Linux Mint is nice. Garuda is really nice. I haven't tried Endeavor. I tried Cashy briefly. I tried Puppy Linux briefly. We got Bodhi. Big Linux was another one I just downloaded. BADSPADE and Antics is really good too. But again, so my 1 terabyte NVMe is my installation kind of recovery drive, but I can also throw a bunch of files and stuff on here. I've also got some VHDX backups of we got Windows 10 Ghost Spectre. Where is that one from? Oh, no, that's the laptop original OS. That's what that is. It's not Ghost Spectre. But I've got an install of Ghost with no drivers, so I could copy this one for this laptop and then install the drivers. This is Ghost 11, I believe. This is Ghost 11 LTSC, and it's got no drivers on it. But it's already taken up 21 gigs. So this wouldn't fit on here, but I could boot it from the NVMe right here. And I just recently learned about VHDX files, and absolutely love them. And then I've got another blank 100 gig VHDX, so I can just copy that and then install whatever I need to. But it's got a maximum size of 100 gigabytes, but it's right now, since it's empty, it's only taken up like 69 megs on the drive, which is kind of nice. And I apologize again about the focus. This just looks like absolute ass. You know what I'm gonna do while we're here, so you guys don't have to look at this trash anymore? Go to my apps. So I also installed a bunch of apps on here so that I can just quickly get to them. Finish her up. Okay, so we're gonna go settings. If you guys haven't used Rust Desk, I highly recommend it. We're gonna go network, no, account, security. That's what I wanted. Okay, I'm gonna use permanent. Okay. Hit OK. So if you guys haven't used Rust Desk, I highly recommend it. But I'm gonna hit it with a restart real quick. Or just shut it down. Or on second thought, I'll just shut it down. What? I need to adjust my camera here again. That's better. Jesus. Jesus. So I am gonna just snap this back together because I really don't care about that right protection screw. Screw it. You know what I mean? Good enough. Right protection. Who needs it? Am I right? Alright, I got fucking screws everywhere. How you guys doing? Doing alright? So now we can fire it back up. And then I'm gonna apply this, okay this, close that. So now what we can do, we come over, yeah, look at this. Open to this. And so these are all my different computers, right? It's basically like AnyDesk, if you've ever seen AnyDesk, right? So, okay, we're back up here. Let's check the hard drive one more time. Yeah, so we're sitting at 8.26, but we fire off Rust Desk here, and then it gives you a code here. So we type in the code. Hang on, I gotta move this. Just gonna move this over here. So I don't even need the computer on my desk anymore. I can just set it over there on the thing. But I do need the number. 478 255 7333. Connect to that. Did I get that wrong? Oh, it's not connected to the network. That would be why. Right. Okay. Try it again, shall we? Boom. Boom. And here we are, folks. Now we are remoted into the Chromebook. Just like so. So pretty quick and easy. And it's setting up the keyboard. Everything's good there. So yeah, after everything, we're looking at Windows 10 22H2, only 8.26 gigabytes with remote desktop installed. So we can, I think that you can change the resolution. Nope, I guess not. But we can do scale, custom, and we'll just, God. We'll bump it up to 60. We'll go 170. How about it? Is that too big? That might be too big. Maybe let's just go 125-ish. There we go. I really like Rust Desk. It's got a lot of nice features that, and this is a completely free program, and it also works on Linux as well. So you can, it's cross-platform compatibility. It's free. You can get it on the on the hub, not that hub, the GitHub. Not that hub, the other hub. You know what I'm saying? So we can just minimize that. Now we're gonna, and there's a little bit of lag. That's not the computer. That is just the remote desktop. Check the performance. And look at that. So now we got the Wi-Fi. Yeah, not that hub, Blur. Not that hub. So now the memory usage is significantly higher, almost double, but we got 4 gigs. And I don't know if it's got the, what is it? The virtual memory. So we've got some virtual memory we could activate. We could use some of the virtual memory here, but I think it's turned off. So we might just leave it off. I don't know. But again, we're running Windows 10. This is in less than 2 hours. We got Windows 10 up and running. Go to this PC. Hello? Did that not? This PC. Oh, it's already open. Doi. That's this window here. That's not what I wanted. I wanted settings. Let's go to settings. Is it? Is it pegged? Oh, yeah, it is. Ping, 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 ping. Yeah, but I could put it at like a 2 gig space, right? Because you can set the virtual memory. So you could set it to like 2 gigs, you know? So then you're only looking at 10, and then I've only got 4 gigs. But like I said, that's why we've got this. We've got the terabyte NVMe. So you could buy a high-speed USB drive as well. I thought about doing that. I could just get like a 512 USB and plug it in there, high speed, and we'd be good to go. But it's a nice portable little laptop. Or I could just go with the NVMe, you know, but it's not going to be my daily driver. I'll probably just give it to my son and he can mess around with it because he loves, you know, he loves pretending to be like daddy, you know, and I got all my computers and stuff over here and I live stream and he'll like sit in my chair sometimes and like pretend like he's live streaming. He'll be like, da, 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 da. I'm like, is that what I sound like? Probably. But again, if you've got an external NVMe, you're good to go, right? I could max this out at 4 gigs of RAM still. And then how much would I have left? Like 2 gigs. So it's not much room for apps, but I could also install the apps on the NVMe. Yeah. Or, like I said, I have that version of Ghost Spectre, right? I've got that version of Ghost Spectre Windows 11 that's running on a virtual hard drive. And I could test that out right now, trying to boot into it, if you want to see that. And we can just go ahead and break this right away. Let's see. So I need to install. Let's see. So I need to install this. EasyBCD. This is a small ass program, so it's not going to eat up much. And we're going to run it. So we got to be very careful, right? Like what we install on this operating system, because we don't want to eat up too much of this. Yeah. Yeah, that's what we're going to test out right now. However, what we are going to do is, okay, yeah, we got, like I said, we got to be very careful with what we install on this, because we don't want to eat up too much space. We're very limited on space. So if nothing else, I think this is going to be the best way. So like if this actually works, I'm just going to do it this way, because thank you. Thank you. Ooh, noodles. Noodles. So we're gonna try it right now, because why the not? I might. Thank you. I do need a. Do we have a drink? Yeah, maybe a water would be good. Thank you. Ooh, it's not spicy. All right, so we got EasyBCD, no problem. Good. We're gonna go back here. So now I got my VHDX files. We got Ghost with no drivers. So we're gonna hit that with a copy. It's taking a minute. Thank you. Yeah, I gotta clean up all these screws. Ooh, oh, thank you. Gotta take my pills. My pills to stay alive. I will die without them. Fun fact, I'll die without them. It's not really that fun, but it is a fact. What am I doing here? I'm just trying to clean up a little bit, because if Cooper wakes up, he's gonna come running out here and go, "What are we doing?" Cool. That's what she said. What? Clean this up a little bit. So I do need to put those screws back in. That's that one. The right protection screw. We'll put that right there and forget about it. Forget about it. Put that in there. Got a USB drive. Ah. I need this. I think I need this. I could do this. Sorry guys, I'm just cleaning up a little bit, and then got my noodles. I'm so excited about these noodles. Are you as excited about these noodles as I am? Okay, so we copied Ghost with no drivers. So we're gonna rename this. We'll just call this the Chrome Ghost. Chrome Ghost. Okay, so we got Chrome Ghost. And then we're gonna exit. CPU is pegged and pinging. Memory, Wi-Fi, whatever. So, yes. I wanted to show this. Also, the nice thing about X-Lite, if you go to update, Windows Update will resume on 7/11 of 3000. So we're good there. That's never gonna happen. This computer will probably be dust before then. Yes, and some are managed by my organization, whatever that means. We can activate this if we want, but we're just going to delete that. Choose a language. Oh, that's right. That's right. I was doing this. Empty this. Yeah. Okay. Don't mind that. Okay. So right now we're running Windows 10. Timeout 3 seconds. C drive. We are going to back it up though. So I'm going to back this up to. Oh, good. It already backed it up. Look at that. So it backs it up to the documents folder. That's good. Date modified 603. Yeah, whatever. Okay. So it backs it up already. That's good. So if we need to restore it, we can just come here and go pink. Okay. So we've got Windows 10. It's using the Metro bootloader. And the countdown is from 3 seconds. We're going to go 10 seconds. We're going to save that. Okay. So now all we need to do is add a new entry right here. And it's a disk image. So VHDX, right? And we're going to call this Ghost. Pretty sure it's 11. And hit it with this. And it's in my NVMe. And it's in my backups. And we got the Chrome Ghost. And we hit open. And then you hit the plus sign here. And now if we come back to the edit, boom, there it is. And by default, Windows 10 right here. And you can rename it. So we can just call this Windows 10 X-Lite if we wanted to. So I can rename this. We'll just call this X-Lite 10. Okay. Call that X-Lite 10. Hit it with a save. We're going to go back to Metro. Hit save. 10 seconds. And now, don't show that again. Not now. Don't need that. Okay. So now I can hit it with a restart. But before we do that, we're going to. I moved the other down here. I moved the laptop down on my shelf. So we're going to hit it with a restart. And that is going to be delayed, but should. Okay, so it's going to boot back into Windows. And then we should hit it with the Metro loader. And there it is. So we got We got X-Lite and we got Ghost 11. So let me. So there's Ghost 11. We'll just hit it with that. Let's see if this works. This should work. Just out of hitch. So this should be Ghost 11. So we just went from Windows 10 on the eMMC. Now we're loading into Windows 11, which is not supported by this Chromebook, by the way. So we're all learning. We're all learning together. But so far, so good. I mean, it's spinning. So that's something.
What are you doing?
Huh?
Are you showing your nudes?
Mm-hmm. I'm eating my nudes. Something's happening. And we're up. Yeah, it might chug, but we'll see. So right now we're running off the NVMe external. So there's going to be some latency there, but I mean, that started up pretty quick. Considering we're running on a Chromebook. Ah, yes. Ah, yes. Hey, look at that. The mouse works. So now again, the trackpad doesn't work because we don't have any drivers installed. And I apologize about the shit ass camera work, but you get what you pay for, guys. Let's adjust. Come on, focus, man, focus. Good enough. So this is, again, the Ghost backup. This is a backup version of Ghost 11 running on a Chromebook from an NVMe externally. So yeah, there's going to be some latency, no doubt about it. No. Golly. Can you focus? You cannot focus. May have to adjust the camera again. Hang on. You know what? I'm just gonna... Did I install Rust Desk on here? I think I did. So we're gonna see if it's installed. Yes, I did. That doesn't fucking work. Settings again. Da, da, da. So is Ghost up? Okay. So now 032 944 464. It's actually running pretty good. It's not running that bad. I just forgot the network again. So. We're getting there, folks. Boom, and we're in. So it actually is not chugging too badly, I must say. We're good. Yep, we're good. So here we're in Windows 11 now on a Chromebook, NVMe, Task Manager. Hey, you were right. It is chugging. But we haven't installed those drivers, so we got to install those drivers again. Which C++ should already be installed, but let's see. Oh yeah, look at that. Memory's sitting at like 2 gigs. Wi-Fi, not too bad. But yeah, the CPU is like ding 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 ding. So we can go ahead and install those drivers again. Oh, my bad, guys. There we go. That's a little bit better for you. Yeah, so like I said, now the C drive says that we've got 100 gigs free because this is a virtual disk running off the NVMe. And then here's our X-Lite just sitting here. So this is the eMMC right here. And then yeah. Yeah. It's hey, it's the little engine that could. It's running Windows 11 right now. So don't tell me you can't run Windows 11 on a potato. I'm running Windows 11 on a Chromebook. And I don't know when the G4 came out. I want to say 2016. And it's running a virtual hard drive. It's running Windows 11 off of a virtual hard drive off of an NVMe externally and having no problem. And porting the image over to my main PC with not much of a problem. And we don't even have the drivers installed yet. Yeah, I should have put them in the drivers folder. I don't know why I didn't do that. So, but whatever. This should already have C++ installed. I feel like it already has C++, but we'll go ahead and hit it with it again. Why not? Oh, look at that. It's already done because it's already installed, probably. And I don't remember which ones go first. I think it was this one. We don't need default RGB keys. Install. Yep. Oh yeah, I forgot to compress the OS. It's all good. I can do that later. The little engine that could. And again, that's why I like these VHDX, because it's like, now I've got 100 gigs just for the OS. It's external. And if I decide I don't want it, I can just delete it. And it's gone. Just like that. Okay, that one's done. The Bay Trail, this is the big one. So again, the chipset and the processor driver aren't installed just yet. So that's probably why the processor is like. It's saying. Well, what do you do for work, Blur? Yes, I do want the Intel. I like Ghost Spectre, by the way. Ghost Spectre is one of my favorite OS builds. I sound so nerdy. Ghost Spectre is one of my favorite builds of Windows, guys. Guys. You are not. Stop it.
What?
This guy's a Bitcoin millionaire. Can you buy us a house? That'd be great.
No.
What?
Start a commune.
Oh, yes. Actually, we want some land and a commune. Are you really a Bitcoin millionaire? Don't fuck with me, man. I don't have time for that. No, I'm just kidding. I don't have time for that. I got all the time in the world. Tell me about it. How did you make your millions of Bitcoin? That's amazing. That is really amazing. I wish I was a Bitcoin millionaire, because who doesn't want to be a millionaire, right? Like, they should have named that show "Who Doesn't Want to Be a Millionaire." They should have named it. No, that is true. That's very true. That's very true. And that's not how you make more millionaires. Nice. Because, you know, teach a man to fish, right? Teach a man to fish. Don't just give him a fish. Teach a man to fish. But that's awesome. That is awesome, man. So you're a Bitcoin millionaire, and then what have you been doing with your time? Oh, GLNYC. I'll teach you to fish. GLNYC. What do you... I don't know what that means. I know, so you're in New York City? But what's GL? Good luck. Oh. Oh, that's nice. Server deployment and self-hosting for the neighborhood children. That's nice. That's nice. And you're in New York City? I got another buddy that's in New York City. Let me restart later. His name is Fizzy Minizzy. Touchpad. Yep. Fizzy Minizzy. Ah, Minecraft servers. Let's go. That's awesome. Are you teaching them Linux by chance? Good noodles. I forget what this one is. Max. Oh, that's audio. Yeah, we're gonna need that. Okay. I think that's everything. Do the key remaps again. And then compress. I think that's everything. So now I can hit it with a restart. Yeah, I can see we're bouncing. Well, did that say 103%? I swear that just said 103% CPU. Oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. And you, so, I don't know, were you saying good luck or GL? Is that like where in NYC you are? I don't know. So you're right in the city. Are you a Giants, Jets, or Buffalo fan? Or none of the above? Okay, good luck. Yes. We're gonna hit her with a restart. So this is gonna blank out, and then I gotta make sure I'm over here. Pink, pink. Gotta get a better camera or figure out how to do this correctly. So we're restarting Ghost. Like I said, I love Ghost, Spectre. I call them distros too, because kind of taking a page out of Linux book. Okay, this should just be the EFI. All right, so come on. You're gonna come back here? Like what? No. Oh my God. Not into sports ball. I'm not into the sports ball. That's funny. I don't like sports ball. I was born in Wisconsin, so it's kind of mandatory, right? Everybody grows up a Packer fan. All right, let's see how fast Ghost boots up now that we've installed some drivers. And then once it's back up. Yeah, so I'm a cheesehead Packer fan. They're not doing too great, but I am watching Buffalo too. You like the sports ball? Jeez. My girlfriend likes the sports ball. Boom, that was a lot faster. So now, sports ball. Yay, sports. We love the sports ball. So guys, if you're just tuning in, we're running Windows 11 and Windows 10 on a Chromebook from 2016-ish. Oh yeah. And again, we'll fire it back up. No, it's not offline because I just... Yes, it is offline. Duh. Hang on. What is it? My start menu? What? Where? I gotta install. Okay, hang on, guys. We're getting it. I swear. Ah, ha, ha, ha. We're back. And we're back. Yeah, can't stress enough. Rust Desk to remote into these machines is a game changer, guys. And we're back. It's a game changer, guys. And it works on Linux too. So if you're looking for a remote desktop application, it's free. It's great. We love it. Let's go adaptive. Why not? There we go. Pink. And let's see. Sorry. Yeah, I just recently learned too that you can right click on the Windows logo and you get a whole slew of options here. I didn't know that till just this past year. Wazinga. And boom. Yeah, still not great, but I think, yeah, a lot of it is the virtualization. So again, X-Lite only had 50 processes. Ghost, this is Ghost 11. This isn't a very lightweight version, but we could get an X-Lite version of Windows 11 to run on here, and it would probably run a lot smoother. Again, like you had mentioned, Blur, I think a lot of it is Rust Desk, and sending it over Wi-Fi is where we're getting a lot of our CPU eaten up here. And we can check what other processes we got going on here. Did you know Windows plus X? What do you mean? Uh-oh. Oh, background's gone. No biggie. Windows plus X. What is Windows X? Oh, it does this? No, I did not know that either. So it's just right click. Yeah, right click does the same thing as Windows X. That's good to know. Thank you. I love learning new things. Ooh, cookies are here. Let's go. Cookies. Yeah, so this is not the greatest build. So I thought this was a clean build. It's not the cleanest because we've got some other stuff from my main system. This is my main system backup. So a lot of bullshit running right now. So all things considered, it's running pretty good. Like, look at all this stuff running in the background. And like I said, a lot of this is from my like Signal RGB. That's my RGB lights in my main system. So I think a better build for this would work much better on this system. So I'll probably have to do that. Like, but we got Windows 10 too. So we got Windows 10 X-Lite running on the main system, and then externally I can boot into any of these that I need. But I think I'll probably delete this version of Windows 11 because it's got a lot of like AMD. We obviously don't have an AMD graphics card in this machine, so we don't need that. Right? We can just end that. We don't need that. We don't need that. We don't need that. Brave update. Don't need that right now. And then Signal RGB. Definitely don't need that. Yeah, so again, this isn't the greatest build for this particular machine. This was more just a proof of concept, right? I wanted to see if Windows 11 would run on this machine, which according to Coolstar was unsupported, but it is supported. So it looks like it will run just fine on here, provided you get yourself an ultra light build of Windows 11. So if you want to run 11 on the eMMC, you could. I would suggest just running it externally off of NVMe. And that's also why I wanted to get an OS just a small one on there. So now I've got just a throwaway OS on there that I can use. And then also, what do you call it? I can use that to add more entries into the BCD and into the EFI, and then boot both Linux and Windows externally. But again, this is not a great Windows 11 build for this particular machine. But I think we were successful. What do you think, guys? I think it was a good day. In under 3 hours, we went from Chrome OS to Windows 10 and then Windows 11. And don't mind the desktop. Yeah, see, this is why I like Ghost, because you got your power options, right click here. You've got reduce memory. I don't know if that actually did anything. Operation complete. Let's see. Yeah, it was a good day. And I can tell people I met a Bitcoin millionaire. Oh, I'm sorry, I missed that last one. Data center drawers lose mice like you would not believe. You would need to be able to use the terminals with just the keyboard for at least the quick stuff. Yeah, I agree. So let's see, did that free up some memory? It did. That freed up a significant amount of memory. So right about here is where because it was 1.7, now we're at 1.3. But again, Ghost, you right click, you've got power options. You can change all your power options, game turbo, dynamic boost, reduce memory, and then God mode, which is, I'll show you that in a second. You got a ping test, and then you got clean up temporary files right from there, right? And then you've got your graphics properties, graphic options, and then your basic stuff here. I think I added everything that's not in there by default. So God mode is just, it brings up this little command, and then it goes pink, and here is literally everything you need to be a Windows god. So, and it's all categorized: indexing, internet, mouse, keyboard, yada yada yada, network, power, blah 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 blah. It's basically like super power mode. That's one of the reasons I love Ghost. And again, it's not the slimmest version of Windows. It does take out a lot of the background processes and telemetry and stuff like that. But yeah, as you can see here, like, look at this. We're already at, it's gone down quite a bit. So we're sitting at like 48%, 17%. So it's smoothing out, smoothing out a little bit. So it's got that right click mode. But it also has Ghost Toolbox, which if you haven't seen Ghost Toolbox, I'll just show that real quick, showcase that. Basically, so out of the box, it doesn't even have a web browser, and you have to install a web browser through Ghost Toolbox. So you have to be connected to the internet in order to get this to work. And it's thinking about it. It's because it's running on a micro machine. There it goes. So this shows you all the build information, right? Computer name, build, Windows 11 IoT 24H2, Superlight SE. That's what we're running virtually right now. Well, not virtually. I mean, it's off of the NVMe. But with Ghost Toolbox, you can type in exactly what you want. So it's got a tweak, fixes, cleaners, and others over here. You just type in the number and hit enter. It's also got an option here, which I do first thing out of the box. Number 8, stop Windows updates until 2077, and then install a browser. You can use the driver updaters, but it's not recommended. It's best to just get them directly from the manufacturers or the proper sources. In this case, the proper sources for the Chromebook OS. Always install media player, VLC, zip file, 7-zip. You got some audio converters, some photo viewers, photo editors, yada yada. And then you got down here, you got C++ right here, DirectX, Ghost Toolbox, changes and update it. You can change the Windows edition, and just do a whole slew of different things from this menu here. So that's another reason I like Ghost Spectre over some of the other OSs that are out there. And again, don't mind the background. The background just disappeared because it was saved locally somewhere. So we can go ahead and just set another background. Oh, no, I can't, because I haven't activated Windows. I haven't activated Windows, so once you activate it, we can get the thing back. But I must have had it activated on the other computer. But anyway, guys, I'm going to finish up. So Blur, thank you for being here. Cat Spade, thank you for being here. And thank you for the wonderful noodles and the cookies, which I am going to eat right now. And Anton, thank you for being here. Who else was here? There was a couple other people that popped in, but that's as far back as my chat goes. So thank you guys again for being here. And this has been installing Windows 10 on a Chromebook. So that about wraps it up. And hopefully, thank you for being here, buddy. And I'm gonna stop the because I was recording this. So if this kind of stuff interests you, I'm gonna be putting together a video of this whole process with some of the footage we used today, but I may have to re-edit or refilm some of it just because it probably looks a little overexposed, underexposed, whatever. But yeah, that about wraps it up, guys. Thanks for being here. And I try to stream every Wednesday, and then not sure if I'll be streaming Saturday or Sunday, but if I do, I'll see you then. Peace.